A major speculation has just emerged involving Kenny Pickett and a possible return to the AFC North, but this time wearing the colors of one of the Pittsburgh Steelers' biggest rivals. The story has caught many fans by surprise, especially after the Philadelphia Eagles' recent Super Bowl victory, the team where the quarterback currently plays. Stay with me until the end of the video to understand all the details of this bombshell possibility. Before we dive into the main story, we need to talk about an important decision that could affect Pickett's future. The Philadelphia Eagles have yet to decide whether to exercise the fifth-year option on the quarterback's contract, which means he could be available for trade in the upcoming window. If the Eagles choose not to guarantee this contract extension, Pickett will become one of the most speculated names in the NFL quarterback market. The big question is, do the Eagles believe Pickett can be the future of the franchise? Or will his time in Philadelphia be just temporary? It's worth remembering that Pickett was brought in to serve as a reliable option in case something happened to Jalen Hurts, but the team might ultimately decide to take a different path. Now let's dive deeper into the subject. According to Aditi Kinkhabwala of CBS Sports, the Cleveland Browns are reportedly one of the teams interested in acquiring Pickett for next season. The Browns' quarterback situation is uncertain, as Deshaun Watson underwent Achilles tendon surgery, and his recovery could impact his availability for 2025. Because of this, Cleveland is exploring market alternatives, and Pickett could be one of the options they consider. If the Browns really pursue Pickett, it would mean a major shakeup within the AFC North. The Pittsburgh Steelers traded Pickett to the Eagles last offseason, and few expected him to return to the division so quickly, especially to a direct rival like Cleveland. Browns fans would have to evaluate whether Pickett could be a reliable solution for the team's future. During his time in Pittsburgh, he struggled to establish his game and prove he could be a franchise quarterback. However, a new opportunity with a structured team like the Browns could help him grow and develop his game. If Pickett does join the Browns, it could completely change the AFC North dynamic. The team has an extremely talented defense and one of the best rosters in the league, so adding a quarterback who already knows the division could be an interesting strategic move. Additionally, Watson's contract situation is another crucial factor. He signed one of the most expensive deals in NFL history, and his long-term future remains uncertain, especially if he fails to return to his expected level of play. This makes the Browns consider other options for the quarterback position, and Pickett could be a potential candidate. For Pickett, this could be a redemption opportunity, as many believe he never had the ideal conditions to develop in Pittsburgh. He faced issues with the offensive line, coaching staff, and never managed to reach his full potential with the Steelers. In Cleveland, he might find a more favorable environment to grow. But would Browns fans trust him as the franchise's future? And would Pickett be willing to take on the challenge of becoming a rival to the team that drafted him? If Pickett does go to Cleveland, it would add even more spice to the rivalry between the Steelers and Browns. The two teams have already had intense matchups in recent years, and seeing a former Pittsburgh quarterback in the colors of their biggest rival would certainly bring a new level of excitement to their games. Another important factor to consider is how Steelers fans would react. Many still support Pickett and believe he could have had a better career if he had received more support from the team. However, if he ends up in Cleveland, Steelers fans might view him as a traitor, just as it happened with other players who switched sides within the division. Looking at NFL history, intra-division transfers always create controversy. Just remember players like Joe Flacco, who spent years with the Baltimore Ravens before joining the Denver Broncos and later the New York Jets, or even Brett Favre, who played for the Vikings after years of rivalry with Green Bay. If Pickett moves to the Browns, we will undoubtedly see strong reactions across the league. Now comes the final question. Do you think Kenny Pickett would succeed with the Cleveland Browns? Or do you believe he should look for a different destination for his career? Are the Browns truly interested? Or is this just another off-season rumor? One thing we know for sure. The NFL always surprises us, and the next transfer window promises to be eventful. If Pickett does end up switching from the Eagles to the Browns, we could be looking at one of the most intriguing stories of the upcoming season. In a surprising turn of events within the NFL, A Buffalo Bills wide receiver has been linked to a potential departure from the team to join the Pittsburgh Steelers. This news has sparked a wave of reactions among fans and analysts, who are speculating on how this move could impact both franchises. The Buffalo Bills have proven to be a competitive team during the regular season, but once again they fell short in the playoffs. Their loss in the AFC Championship game made it clear that significant adjustments are needed if they want to reach the Super Bowl in 2025. One of the most critical areas is the passing offense, which, despite having big names, failed to deliver when it mattered most. One player who generated high expectations upon arriving in Buffalo was veteran wide receiver Amari Cooper. Acquired before the NFL trade deadline, Cooper was seen as a key reinforcement to elevate the Bills' offense. However, his performance fell far below expectations. Throughout the remainder of the season and the playoffs, his impact on the field was minimal, leaving many questioning whether his acquisition was the right move. In the 2024 season, Cooper caught 44 passes for 547 yards and only 4 touchdowns. These numbers are significantly lower than his previous years, raising concerns about his ability to remain a top-tier player in the league. According to Nick Villano of Fansided, Cooper could be on his way to Pittsburgh. Villano argues that the Steelers are a perfect fit for both the player and the team. His main point is that pairing Cooper with George Pickens would give Pittsburgh a high-level receiving duo, helping to maximize the team's offensive production. We believe that someone will be the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's a perfect match for both the player and the team, but the only question is whether the contract aligns with the Steelers' expectations, Villano wrote. Additionally, there is speculation that Justin Fields will extend his contract with Pittsburgh, further strengthening the team's passing attack. In an offense that has struggled with consistency, adding a veteran receiver like Cooper could be crucial in providing stability and experience. At 30 years old, the big question is whether Buffalo should keep Cooper or let him go. Based on his recent performance, the smarter move might be to allow him to explore new opportunities. His impact on the Bills' offense was limited, and his departure could free up salary cap space to bring in fresh talent or reinforce other key areas. On the other hand, the Steelers have a track record of getting the most out of veteran players. With an offense seeking stability and a young quarterback in development, Cooper's experience could make a big difference in the 2025 season. The potential departure of Amari Cooper from the Buffalo Bills to the Pittsburgh Steelers is one of the hottest topics in the NFL right now. While his time in Buffalo didn't go as expected, a move to Pittsburgh could give him a fresh start and an opportunity to revive his career. The big question now is whether the Steelers are willing to take on Cooper's contract and if the Bills will let him walk without making an effort to retain him. What do you think about this possible trade? Would Cooper be a good fit in Pittsburgh, or should Buffalo give him another chance? Let us know your thoughts and stay tuned for more updates on the NFL market.